Welcome back to Verizon Vikings Training Camp Live. I'm your host, Gabe Henderson. Eric Smith, Vikings team reporter, joins me. Practice 7 just wrapped up, and we have a loaded show for you guys today. We have our 3 observations with Eric. We got position battles. But to start the show off today, we'd like to bring in the second-year Vikings wide receiver, Alex Hollins. How you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good. About yourself?
Good. Year 2 is upon us for you. What's been the biggest learning curve for you? But first and foremost, how has training camp been for you? We haven't even got to the season yet. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Training camp been pretty good, man. I grew a lot during the off season, so the playbook got a lot better for me. Everything got slowed down for me, so I'm just out there playing ball now and executing.
Alex, you mentioned how things have slowed down for you. You know, last year in Week 17, you played 48 snaps against the Bears. You know, how valuable was that, NFL game experience in your rookie season?
It was good to get that experience. You know, it was something I never had before. Been on the practice squad all year, just working and just finding myself and gaining that trust from my teammates and the coaching staff. So I go out there and play. So it was good. It was real good for me.
Haven't heard from you in a while. So what was the biggest learning curve for you? Getting prepared to play for that Week 17 game last year.
It was just a normal. It was just a normal thing, just going out there, learning my plays, and just going out there to execute.
So what can Vikings fans expect from you? We get you out of here with this question. We know what you did last year as a league. What have you done for me lately? And you left a good impression on Vikings fans. So heading into this season, what can Vikings fans expect from you?
You're gonna expect a lot from me, man. I'm a fast guy, so I'm gonna take the top off. So you might see a lot of deep catches. But I just want to bring a lot of excitement to these fans, give them something they want to see. So I'm just going to give them my all,
Excited to watch you work, man. Best of luck this year.
All right, thank you.
I think yesterday we saw a big highlight from Alex Hollins yesterday with that catch over, I can't think of who it was. I think it was Chris Boyd. We know how he works. But moving on to the 3 observations. Observation number 1.
Yeah, so it was actually a big day for Eric Wilson. And, we know about the Vikings linebacker depth with Anthony Barr and Eric Kendrick, but Eric Wilson stood out today. I mean, he made plays against the run and against the pass, and his versatility is very important to that defense. He can play any of the 3 linebacker spots. He can excel against the run and against the pass, and he can kind of do it all. And the Vikings have a great duo in Barr and Kendrick, but having that 3rd guy to be a playmaker as well is really a positive for the Vikings defense.
And we know the things that they do in the offseason, you can't beat that brotherhood right there, and that translates well on the field. But what he does in the special teams aspect of the game, how do you think he can, build on that? Because we know how much he's dependent on right there.
Yeah, it almost in my eyes, he's looked at as almost like the special teams captain. So he makes plays on all of the special teams units. So he. And he had that block punt in Week 1 against Atlanta last year, and that almost set the tone for the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
He blocked that punt. It's the first punt of the season. The Vikings take over. They score. It's 7-0. Eric Wilson has blood on his face mask. Everyone loved it. It was just a great way to start the season.
Moving on to observation number 2, a position that a lot of fans want to know about, that left guard spot. Collins, Dozier, they split reps. What was your initial takeaway what's been your initial takeaway just from camp, seeing those guys getting some valuable work heading into the season?
Yeah, it's been even. Even today it was almost an even split, for Avion Collins and Dakota Dozier at the left guard spot. I think coming up soon, we could have a decision there. That's kind of what Mike Zimmer and Gary Kubiak have hinted at a little bit. Maybe this weekend or maybe on Monday, that's when a decision is made to kind of give a guy more reps than just having a 50-50 split right now. It's been a pretty even battle, and so I think the Vikings really can't go wrong. Both guys are good, and that's been a good competition.
I think one thing we were talking about it watching practice today, Collins and Dozier, they both have really good hand placement when they attack their defender. Of course, we all know what Dozier's footwork looks like. Just really good. Collins' footwork is great also. So it would be interesting to see what these guys can do and how they can translate that over to winning that position battle right there. But whoever wins, we know that backup position, whoever's going to back them up, they have good competition right there. You're only as good as your backup. Observation number 3, Eric.
Yeah, so the observation 3, it was a 2-hour practice today, full pads, it was a lot of intensity. And with that, the Vikings spent a lot of time in the red zone today, whether it was one-on-ones in the red zone, And Anthony Harris actually made probably, perhaps the play of practice. It was, Mike Zimmer loves to put his team in a game situation. So he put the Vikings offense at the 5-yard line with 1 second left and went against the first team defense. And Ant, knocked away a pass to Kyle Rudolph. Anthony Harris knocked away a pass to Kyle Rudolph, and it won the game. So it was a good play by Ant.
Yesterday we talked about this sense of urgency, and I think the sense of urgency just heightens simply because of today being the last day before a day off tomorrow, and then you have pads. But the red zone work, like that red zone work, you can't get anything better than that because that's what you need in order to get that game-like feel. That game-like feel, do you think the Vikings are trending in the right direction to getting that game-like feel? You see the crowd, the simulated crowd noise and things like that, but do you feel like things are starting to pick up here?
Yeah, I do, and that's what we want. It's only been the first week in pads, and it'll get more intense. Next week will be the dog days of camp, and that's when it'll really get going.
For sure. All right, moving on. Wide receiver position battles. This is a group we all know. Adam Thielen, he's a wide receiver number 1, but 2, 3, and 4, or just 2 and 3. Like there are some highly talented guys right there. You got B.C. Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Tajay Sharp. What are some other things that Vikings fans should look forward to in this position battle at the wide receiver group?
Yeah, those 3 guys that you mentioned, B.C. Johnson, Tajay Sharp, and Justin Jefferson are probably, getting the most run right now with the first team and the second team in that battle for the second and third wide receiver spot behind Thielen. I like what I've seen from Justin Jefferson. We saw that clip the other day. He had that touchdown catch over Mike Hughes. So he's looked good, and he's coming along.
Don't forget the gritty dance, too.
Of course. And B.C. Johnson, we've talked with him. His progression from year 1 to year 2, he's a lot more comfortable. And, Tajay Sharp, a free agent from the Titans, he's looked strong, too, in the first week or so of camp.
It's good having that competition, but moving on past that, you got 2 guys that are battling not for, a wide receiver position battle, but also for that punt returner position battle. You got Chad Beebe, KJ Osborne. What can those 2 guys bring to the table? We see KJ Osborne right here, a double move route catch for a touchdown. But so what can these guys bring to the table?
Yeah, and Osborne actually had 2 touchdowns in that drill. Mm-hmm. So he looked good, and Beebe has looked good as well. Both those guys that you said are kind of similar players. They're battling for the punt returner job. Both guys kind of figure into the slot on offense and are kind of shifty, athletic players. I like what I've seen from Osborne, the rookie out of Miami. He seems really smooth out there and catches the ball well. So it's going to be a good battle for who's going to win that punt returner job, but also that 4th or 5th spot as a wide receiver. The Vikings don't line up in shotgun with 5 wide a lot, but they need depth throughout the season, and those are 2 guys who are kind of battling right now for those 2 spots.
One more question about Chad Beebe. To me, he's a guy that's like Mr. Reliable. You always see him making that catch whenever a play breaks down. He's always open. What do you think Chad Beebe's best attribute is?
It's probably, I think, the ability to get open on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. When the Vikings do go multiple receivers on the field, Chad Beebe he's not the biggest player on the field for sure, but he's probably one of the quickest. So match him up against a linebacker or a slower DB, that's probably where he excels the most.
Well, Eric, get some sleep because we have no practice tomorrow. But Vikings fans, make sure you stay tuned to Vikings.com because we have you covered with everything you need to know regarding the Vikings from past practice and future practices. So, guys, don't turn the channel. Don't click any other website. Vikings.com has you covered. So for Eric Smith, I'm Gabe Henderson, and this is the Verizon Vikings Training Camp Live.